get started. Last time we did, is it ECAD, I believe? Yeah. Or no, Euro GBP is what we did actually. That was a losing pair. That was actually the first losing pair of this series. Overall, we're at 160 trades so far with a 40.21% win rate. The total R gain so far is, let's see, 55, 54, 54.9 to be exact. We've only got 2 losing months, I believe, so far. But I think I mentioned it a couple of times in the past as well that with this strategy, we're also going to have a couple of losing pairs. So we've got around 28 pairs in total. And there's a really good chance that 8 to 10 of those pairs are going to be losing pairs. But that doesn't mean that you're going to come out unprofitable. That still is plenty to come out profitable. So let's continue with CAT CHF for now. All right, here we are. Let me quickly get rid of this shit. Okay, perfect. All right, let's see. The first trade that I see here is that long position. Very simple long position. First thing you should do, by the way, if you haven't backtested in a while, like myself, you should go on and look at your previous trades real quick, just to see what your trades look like, just to make sure that you're not suddenly changing perspective into looking at it like this. Now, it's obviously not going to happen. You're not going to go from this all the way to this, but still, just to make sure that you are somewhat on the similar zoom level, so to say. That's always really important. So just quickly check your last backtest session, take a quick look at that, and make sure that you are in alignment with it. All right, the first trade ends up being a winning trade, actually. First trade of the year, +3. Let me write that down over there. Let's move on to the second one right away. Oh, this is a good case to pay attention to. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll start zooming out to make sure that they're still seeing this piece of price action. But I'll just stay zoomed in and I'll just let it go. Like if there's nothing to see there, then that's that really. Okay, it's lagging again. Keeps doing that. There we go. Finally. Sometimes it does that. It just lags out for like a minute or two. I don't think it's my Wi-Fi either. I think it's just X replay being shit. All right. Got a short continuation trade. We are a little late with our entry, but I'm gonna market order into this one. Market orders, I only use those when the price is above my original entry price. So in this case, for example, it is above, so my RR only gets bigger. If it was below, so if, for example, it was here, I would not market order into it because in that case, you're lowering the R gain. That's a break even. Very simple trade. Continuation trade here to the upside. Either one of these is valid, by the way. You can either take this one or you can take this one. I'm always taking the most recent one, or usually I do, but either one is valid, really. I should check to see if it, yeah, okay, so it's a limit order. Perfect. All right, winning trade, I believe. There we go, +3. You know, it's funny, back in, I think in 2023 even, might have been 2023. Was it 2023? I'm not sure. 2024 at least. When we first did these sessions, we would always just blast like Disney music and stuff like that and just be chilling for like an hour, sometimes even 2 hours. But then it became a little bit more professional, but that was fun. I can't remember when that was. I think that was in, at least it was early 2024. I'll say that. In this case, by the way, I'm not going to redraw the position or replace the whole position. I'm just going to adjust that real quick. I don't feel like placing the whole position again. In this case, we've got to delete it anyways, but all right, this is just sideways price action. I'll skip through that. I'm not really looking to get into any trades in that case. In this case, I'll be looking at this position over here. For me, like I said before, I'm always focused on the most recent position. So You could also be looking at the trade from all the way up there, but for me, I like to focus on what's right in front of me. So that's usually the most recent one. In this case, it's a miss. However, I usually actually wait for price to retrace to the 0.5 level before even placing my orders. In this case, I didn't, but no imbalance here, so nothing to see there. Just gonna skip price forward now. All right, this one's looking nice. Gotta wait for price to retrace a little bit, and then we'll take that long position. But yeah, back in, I think it was like 2024, March, May, maybe. We used to host these sessions. There'd be like 10, 15 people, and we'd just be blasting Moana music or Disney music. All right, this is one that I'm going to delete. It got really close to my entry and then went very close to target, or even hit target actually. That was not my intention, but it just lagged out and skipped forward. But okay, next trade. This one I am a little bit more aggressive with because usually a lot of people look at the strength of the breaker structure, which is true, but in this case we are clearly within an uptrend, so I'm okay with that breaker structure even though it's very minimal. I'm only looking at a really strong break once we're actually trading reversals. So if we're looking at a reversal trade, we'll be looking at a stronger breaker structure. All right, let's see. Like in this case, for example, you don't even get a body closure. So I'm not going to be looking at that short position, obviously. I'd say that's probably one of my number one rules. I've got another one that if I see an example of what I mean, I'll talk about it. But there's something that I've been, it's lagging out again. Something that I've been telling a lot of my clients recently, and it's kind of what I like to call the pillow effect. And it means that, if, for example, a price is coming back to a point of interest, how big is the jump in comparison to the so-called pillow, right? Or trampoline or whatever the fuck. So if you got a price like this, and then you got a massive move to the upside, and then obviously the jump is really big compared to the trampoline. So there's a good chance that this will break. Now, if it's a little bit more like so, a little bit more balanced, then there's a really realistic chance that it'll play out. That's something that I've been teaching some people recently. All right, long position here. There is an imbalance. It's up there though. That doesn't matter. It's still valid. It's lagging like crazy today. I don't know what's going on, but it keeps lagging for some reason. All right, let's see. Ah, shit. Now it obviously didn't count. Fuck's sake. All right, well, happens in real life too, I guess. It's unfortunate. For some reason, it just lags out and whatever. All right. Well, we did miss a losing trade afterwards, so kind of makes up for it. I don't really like trades like this with like the news candle, but mechanically it is still valid. And the market really doesn't care about what I like or don't like. All right. Hopefully it's working now. All right, gonna delete this trade. I was gonna delete that trade, but it lagged out. You guys should hear me. I'm literally spamming my mouse one button. It's just not working. Very slow today. Gotta reopen the session. Sometimes it's messed up. All right, I'll do that. If it lags again, I'll reopen the session. Looking at this short position over here, waiting for it to retrace a little bit more. Make sure to maintain that similar zoom level as well. Let's see, it already got closer entry. If it goes down further now, then I'll delete this trade. That was barely, I mean, that was debatable whether or not you would have deleted it. Got really close. Some days I would have deleted that, to be honest with you. Ends up being a winning trade though. All right, you can take either the trade from all the way up here or down here. Either one is valid. Depends on how aggressive you want to be as a trader. All right, we're going to delete that trade. In this case, I will take it from up here. That's just because I don't really see that one little doji candle as structure. So in this case, I would take it from up there. Right, it's lagging again. Let me see. It's gonna work. No, okay, I'm gonna restart this session real quick. Yeah, okay. So this guy that I work with, just to throw that in, we're gonna continue in just a second. This guy has insane data. 163R in 2016, and then 2017 is 100 and something, or 94 in 2017 is known for being a really tough year, so it's crazy. But this guy also works in a capital management firm. Like it's his full-time job as well, so, but still, that's pretty sick. Anyways, let's continue. Let's see if we restart it, if it works the way it's supposed to. Okay, I'm assuming that's an error, but that is the trade that we were looking at. Gonna delete that now though. Hopefully it'll work. All right, this is a valid long position over here. Let's wait for price retrace. Never comes back. This is, by the way, what I meant with that trampoline effect, right? Like, see, you have this as your little trampoline, and then you've got such a massive jump. And then if you come all the way back down, there's a really small chance that this is actually going to hold. There's a bigger chance that it'll break. So that's just a little concept to keep in mind. This is actually a valid short position because this gap over here, you can count that as an imbalance. It's the market open gap, but basically it's the same as an imbalance. So it ends up being a losing trade. It's lagging again. I don't know what's up. I do want to pick up YouTube more, but the thing is with YouTube, I've also decided to go. Oh, you're in ecom too, Simon? Or maybe we should chat. Curious to always learn more, obviously. But on YouTube, like I've decided I mainly want to go faceless from now on. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm getting recognized sometimes, and now it sounds like I'm some sort of celebrity, which I'm clearly not. But and I don't want to be. But I've been on a podcast in the Netherlands, and I think it's the biggest podcast in the Netherlands. And sometimes, and the Netherlands is a really small country, by the way, sometimes people will recognize me from that podcast, and it's really uncomfortable, and I hate that. So I've decided I want to go faceless from now on, or at least for the most part. But it's only happened 3 times so far, but I really hate that. So I'm also going to be contacting the guys to take that podcast down because I'm really not comfortable with it. So that's something I've been thinking about too, why I haven't been uploading on YouTube recently. Just because I'm not really comfortable with it. It's a little crazy because you always feel like, no one's going to recognize you, etc. But then it's so easy to just, well, who's David Lade? Maybe they confuse you as David Lade. I have no idea who that is. Dude, this is so annoying. It keeps lagging. Holy shit. We've been stuck in April for like 10 minutes now. God damn it. I mean, it only happened a couple of times, but still, it's just the fact that it even happened was like, okay, so there's people that know stuff about me, and it's people that I don't know, and that's fine if you're faceless, like if you don't show your face, and I'm okay with people knowing what I look like. It's just I don't want to get recognized or anything. So it's the reason why I've been a little quiet on YouTube lately. Damn it. So okay, so I did register. Perfect. Okay. Now let's see. Hopefully it finally works. We're in May, the 5th month of the year. It only took us 2 hours to get there. Now this is a little bit debatable too, because this is not the strongest break, but it is kind of on the fence, or like on the border of being strong enough. For me, it's strong enough. Let's see, I'm gonna delete that now. Getting sideways price action. This is a trade that I missed. But being on that podcast, it was fun. It was a lot of fun for sure. But um, it does also give you the reputation of like being a course seller and whatnot. And some, I don't really care what people think of me, but I don't really like that reputation myself. Just knowing how poisonous and how toxic this industry is. I think I said it a couple of weeks ago as well. There's this one guy who swears by not backtesting, and there's so many people who swear by like all this bullshit that just doesn't make any sense. And at the end of the day, it's really nothing more than creating a statistical advantage in the market, the same way a casino has an edge over you, and then literally just replicating that as often as you can, and just letting that play out. And then all that bullshit of being able to read the market direction, etc. It's literally nothing more than that. It's just bullshit. It's just make you believe something. You know what's funny too? It's really easy as a seller. For example, these big guys, these like TJR trades and whatever. If you have a complicated strategy, or it's a very discretionary strategy, you can always get people to pay more. And unfortunately, that's what they do. That's how these guys operate. They never have a mechanical strategy because with a mechanical strategy, people are not going to have as many questions. And if they don't have as many questions, they're not going to pay you for more information and more knowledge. So unfortunately, same with ICT. This guy has the most complicated stuff out there. And he does that on purpose because he knows that there's always going to be people who want to have more knowledge, more information. So they're always going to come back and watch his videos. And now he claims to be like very holy and sacred with, I'm doing it for free. Well, the fact that there are 30-minute videos that are very complicated means that he's making a fuckload of money on ad revenue. And you do make quite a good amount of money on ad revenue as a trader. I had a video with 25,000 views that made me $140. So that's not bad at all. 25K views and then 140 bucks. So that's unfortunately that is how they make money. And that's why so many strategies out there are complicated too. Because trust me, if everyone had a simple mechanical strategy, then course sellers would not make nearly as much money. This would have been a valid trade over here that I missed out on. But unfortunately, that's just not the way that this world works. This is a valid trade. I'm not sure if we would have gotten into that. No, we would not. It's lagging, so I'm missing out on a couple of trades. Shit. Let's see. We were able to get into that. No. But it's a little crazy. That's just the way that the whole world operates, and that's something that I don't really want to associate myself with. I mean, I love helping people. I love being able to share my knowledge, and I believe that my knowledge actually helps a ton of people. Um, but I hate the whole idea of like SMC and making stuff so complicated, etc. And that's what we're kind of trying to change to with SMA. It's just getting rid of all that complicated stuff and the whole discretionary system. Because it wasn't like that before. It's just, you gotta understand too, 20 years ago, scalping was barely even a thing. Or day trading was barely even a thing. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you couldn't even do electronic trading. That was not even a thing. You had to actually go to a broker or call a broker in order to actually place your trades. My uncle, who's 80 years old now, he used to trade back in the day, but that was not comparable at all to what we're doing now. You have to call someone, or you have to actually go to a physical floor to trade, to place your trade. Usually it was calling someone. This is unfortunate. It's so laggy. We did miss out on this winning trade due to the lag, but like I said before, that happens in real life as well, so nothing we can do about it. But with the upcoming of electronic trading, there obviously came a lot of noise as well, a lot of disagreements about what the best approach is, etc. So that's something too. Like for example, I swear by the fact that trading has to be statistical and simple, and there's no beating the markets, etc. What the fuck is going on? Why is it not closing? Okay. Then there's other people who swear by SMC and swear by liquidity and whatnot. So it's at the end of the day, it's all just opinions. You've all got different opinions on how it works. It's lagging again. Sugar asks, will AI outrun traders or disrupt trading in general? Dude, I have no idea, honestly, but I don't think so. Because I think as long as human emotions are going to play a part, then trading is always going to be, um, it's always going to be done by humans, I believe. Just because AI, at the end of the day, doesn't feel or comprehend emotions, and ultimately the two things that run the market are fear and greed. And it's been like that for a long, long time. What the fuck, dude? Did it register or not? I have no idea. I've literally got no idea what's going on. I'm trying to go on to the next shape, but finally now it's registering. Holy shit. Jeez. All right, we've got our next trade over here, and it's lagging again instead of the whatever. Which GPU do you have? I have no idea, dude. How do I? Okay, let me see that. Yeah, what Simon says too. It's whatever works for you. Like some people swear by liquidity and SMC and whatever, and we just believe in a very straightforward approach that's mainly focused on facts and statistics or data. Should have a good GPU though. Now that you ask, sure, I think it's decent because it's a fairly expensive PC, but I have no idea. All right, this is a valid short position. We're below market price, so that's a trade that we missed out on. There's like 3 winners that we missed out on so far. We're still up though, so I'm not complaining, but and that's not a strong break for me because that's a market open cap. Oh, it's lagging. Holy shit. Oh shit. See if we get a long position here. So far, CAT CHF doing really well. All right, now we got back to the entry point. It's lagging like crazy. I think we missed that win as well. There's 4 winning trades that we missed out on due to lag. That's crazy. I've never had that before, but that's okay. Like I said, that happens in real life too. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully you don't miss 4 winning trades in real life. Okay, December 15th is when I stopped trading, by the way. But I'm not really going to sugarcoat it and go back. Even though it wasn't my fault, really, it was lag, but okay. This is what we have. Can't see Chef. 44% win rate. Really solid. Very solid. Yeah. So far, so good.